Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of fear.
Hi, it's Lauren. Welcome to another lyric analysis. Today's song is called Not a Choice. It is the third song in the blue section and the 21st song overall. So this song is called Not a Choice because sometimes when we get into a bad pattern of negativity and self-hatred and stuff, there is this other choice that could lead us on a better path, but we've chosen not to take it so many times that we forget this choice is here. So that's why in the chorus it goes, welcome to the power of hate built from the world of fear. And yes, these things are powerful, but once you choose that path, you'll be surprised at how quickly the evil crumbles because you're so much more powerful than it. So let's get right into the lyrics. First part, there are two choices, to live or die. So those are the two choices. Do I keep doing what I'm doing and keep suffering? Or do I make different choices to try to get the life that I want? And we so often choose to make the same choices. And we do it because of fear usually. Next part, there are two paths, to freedom or to my demise. So I can either free myself from all this suffering and go for the life I want, or just continue destroying myself. So why would I continue destroying myself? But I seem to be. Next part, I want to be alive, but I can't turn around. Part of me would rather die. So you could look at it, there are certain neural pathways when we make the same choice over and over again. Basically, it's this just intense inner critic because I thought the more I pushed myself, the more success I would get and the happier I'd be. If I was kind to myself, that meant failure. But I realized throughout my life that that philosophy doesn't work. It just leads to self-destruction. So I know this intellectually, but it's almost like my body, like part of me would rather die than be kind to myself. Because I associate being kind to myself with failure and permanent unhappiness. Next part, this suffering is immense, yet I keep choosing it. Whenever we suffer, we do choose it to some degree. And this doesn't mean that people don't deserve empathy and kindness and compassion, because most of the time it's a subconscious thing, like breathing and blood pressure. It's this choice that you've made so many times, it's now in your body and automatic. And it feels like it's not your choice. But it's just something that has to be reprogrammed. What I'm saying is there's a trap here. Your body automatically reacts and you don't see a way out even if it's right there because you've ignored it so many times. Kind of like that to-do list in the corner that's been in the basket for weeks. You're like, I'll get to that. If I leave it out, I'll keep seeing it and then I'll get to it. And then what happens after a couple of days, you just ignore it and it's no longer even a part of your reality. Yeah. Okay, now to the chorus. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of fear. So basically, whether it's self-hatred or hatred of someone else, it usually stems from fear. That's the underlying vulnerable emotion that the anger and hatred is covering up. Told that being who you are is unsafe. And rejection is a big part why people are really critical of themselves or hate themselves. They're really critical of others because people think that the more critical I am, the more perfect I'll be, and the less likely I'll be to be rejected. It's this literal infant response because an infant, if the parent rejects an infant, the infant will die. Like they rely on the parent. And that is embedded in us throughout our lives. We just got to be aware of it, of when it's not serving us. Second part of the chorus. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of shame. Shame. Guilt is I did something bad. Shame is I'm bad. And it generally stems from that rejection. I mean, that's what guilt is for. Guilt is when we're in a tribe or whatever, like we did something wrong and we're hurting others, so we have to change our behavior. Shame is the feeling that I've been rejected so many times that I must be bad. Everything I am and do is bad. And that is one of the lowest vibrational emotions that exist. Told that who you are is not okay, not a choice you can make. So if shame is I'm bad, who I am is bad, then being yourself isn't a choice you can make because you'll be rejected. But that is a latent fear from an infant that is something that we can let go of as adults, because there will be people that hate you. They say fame is 50% of people love you and 50% of people hate you. I don't know how accurate the stats are, but if you put yourself out there, if you are yourself, you will get rejected a lot. That's why you have to be confident in yourself and find a group of people that you do feel safe with. I need to find that. And if you don't have that right now, then you can at least feel safe with yourself. That is enough. I mean, of course, we all want to be ourselves, but we squash it because it's not a choice we're allowed to make. Verse 2. I can be myself or nobody. If I'm not myself, then I'm just a copy of what I think others want me to be, which isn't a person, it's a caricature from fear. Next part, I can go to heaven or hell for eternity. So this is the idea that heaven or hell isn't a place that you're sent to, it's a place you create in your life and after this life. The problem with religions is they take the power from yourself onto this external force that tells you what's right and wrong. If there is a God that tells you who you are and who you're allowed to be and you have to follow it or you'll die and go to hell, that's not love. That's like slavery. Do what I say or suffer the consequences. That's not what love is. That's a distortion of love. And heaven or hell, it's not about what you have or where you are. You can create a heaven or hell wherever you are. You can create a heaven for yourself in a horrible environment or a hell for yourself in a beautiful environment. It all depends on you. And it's not easy. When I say it all depends on you, like, sometimes I get frustrated because people think, well, then anyone who suffers then deserves it because they're not strong enough to, create their lives. And I think that's unfair. But at the end of the day, no one can save you. As much as you wish they could. They can't. And even if they could, the price of that is you never get to be you. Next part. This suffering is immense. I'm disgusted by my weakness. Obviously, a lot of the stuff I'm talking about of like not having empathy and compassion because I realize I'm the creator of my own life and I should be able to manage it better. That's a direct reflection of my inner critic and not something I would recommend. When I look at the things that I don't like about my life, how easily I get frustrated, my career situation, but I realize it's no one's fault but my own because I'm the creator of my own life, which leads me not to have empathy for myself and just be disgusted by how weak I am. But I realize that the only reason I'm weak is because I've believed lies that I'm worthless and I'm powerless and all this stuff. I'm damaged by those lies and now I have to rebuild. And I should have empathy and love and compassion for that person who's rebuilding because most people never rebuild. They just live, do what they're told, die, and it continues for as long as this earth exists. It's kind of horrifying, actually. Chorus again. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of fear, told that being who you are is unsafe. It's not safe to be who I am, because who I am is worthless, and that worthless person will be rejected. So let me put on a mask, let me put on a face so people will love me, so that I'm deserving of love. But any love that you have to earn is not real love. Next part of the chorus. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of shame, told that who you are today's not okay. So this is a slight lyric change. We always talk about like people's potential and the future and hope. But your power is in the now, in this moment. That's perfect for today. I love myself today. I used to think that love would make me stagnate and make me not move towards anything. But actually, the more you accept and love yourself in the now, the more that actually powers you forward. But you don't want most of your focus to be on the future. Hope's a good, survival benzodiazepine pill. Yeah, it'll help you for a bit, but you don't want to use it for years. Then you can never reach that happiness. It's always just out of your grasp. And that's how I feel a lot of the time. So when I'm trying to get a goal and it's blocked, I really lose it. And that's one of the things I'm so frustrated that I let a little inconvenience put me over the edge. I associate I can't be okay until I reach this goal. But then it's blocked. So it's I can't be okay. So that's why I lose it. Oh, today was rough. Today was rough. Oh my gosh. Who you are today is perfect. Next part of the chorus. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of fear, told that being who you are is unsafe. Welcome to the power of hate, built from the world of shame, told that being who you are's not okay, not a choice you can make. You are the damaged from the lies you've been told about yourself. You're not the one that's damaged. One of my favorite quotes is, "It's not healthy to be well adjusted to a sick society." Choose to be who you are, because why not? Even the mask you create, there will be people that hate that. You can never avoid rejection. And if someone makes you feel really bad, take it as one, a sign, hey, I have a personality. And B, thank goodness I realized that so I don't spend any more time with this person, because they're obviously not my people. All right, bridge. There's a third path in the mind. Look at the darkness and understand why. So instead of beating yourself up for all your self-sabotage, why am I doing this? And this why can be more objective and curious instead of this judging condemnation. And here's why. It goes, I was afraid I was alone. I was so young, did what I was told. I was a straight A student, a gymnast, a dancer, and the gymnastics thing with the abuse, I know the Olympics just ended. I call it the Larry Nassar era of gymnastics because he abused girls for 30 years. And part of the thing in the case is that the reason he was able to do this for 30 years is because the culture was so abusive. And I was not at the top levels. I was not with those specific people, but that culture of abuse was passed down through the entire sport. I was basically discarded at 12 for being too old and washed up. And now I see Simone as 27 and getting better. And so that was a lie. And probably because you can't sexually abuse adults because they know what you're doing. I remember I was frustrated on the bars. I tilted my head back for a second. I'm like, you know? And they're like, they told me how disrespectful I was being just for showing a little bit of emotion. I remember I was at this camp and I was like, oh, my back's hurting because I'd been doing these back walkovers I've been doing them every day. And the reaction to saying my back was anger, like, do it again. And then I did it. And then she had to justify her behavior, be like, yeah, well, I thought you were lying just to get out of it. So the message there is that if I have an emotion, that's something to be ashamed of. If I have a physical pain, that's something to be disgusted by. And I can't be trusted because I'm manipulative. So not good messages at all. The people who succeeded in gymnastics were the ones that were more afraid of disappointing their coaches than they were for their own physical safety. Now I just watch the Olympics and Simone's like, yeah, we check in to see if the girls are doing well mentally and physically. And I'm like, what? And I just realized that everything I was taught was a lie. Trickled down from abusive people in power. And I'm a little pissed off about that. Last part is, who I wasn't safe. Choosing me was not a choice I could make. I felt that to be a good, decent person, I kind of had to be perfect and have all my emotions under control and not show any weakness. And I learned to suppress my emotions and not regulate them because having them was sort of unacceptable. And that's the cycle of abuse. It's like the more you suppress the emotions, the more they then explode out later, which then reinforces the idea that I have to suppress them more because when I let them out, they're out of control. It's a cycle of abuse that builds on itself over and over and over again. And it just gets worse and worse over time. And this dang human body can't suppress the emotions. I'm not Vulcan. Nope, I'm not. So they just get worse. And at a certain point, you're in a psych ward, climbing up a door, trying to escape through the ceiling with a Dixie cup to get the screw out. So you could take that path, but it's not one that's fun or satisfying or worth it or one that I would recommend. It put me in a place of hell itself, and now I am trying to get out. And I hope some of you will come and follow me. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.
Who I wasn't safe. Choosing me was not a choice I could make.
No, that's weird. Is that weird? I'm just gonna turn it off.